Alright guys, I'm going to show you a little project I'm going to work on today. This is a Heritage Rough Rider. It is unloaded. Neat little inexpensive gun. I think I bought this one. Actually, I bought this on Black Friday when they were like $109 and they had like a $30 or $40 mail-in rebate. So really only paid out the door. I think I'd have to pull up the receipts, but like $79 for it. Pretty decent plinker. Where they it's pretty much if you've ever had a Ruger single six, it's pretty much that kind of firearm, except for it does have this little goofy external safety, because it's like a hammer block. So when you pull the hammer back, it won't let the hammer go all the way forward until you take off the safety, which is the only deal. But for a $79 plinker, we can take care of that all day long. But which goes to what I was saying. Paid $79 for this. These were built pretty much to be in competition with the Rugers. If you buy Rugers, those things are built like a tank. I've had one I used for running a trap line for years, and they get scratched up and everything. And I don't know if you've seen the price of those things. They're in the $400 or $500 range. Where this gun right here, you can readily buy. A lot of times they have these on like a Black Friday sale for $99. So it's a good tackle box plinking gun, something to teach somebody how to shoot pistols for the first time, revolvers. But where they are lacking is in their finish. Now this is a brand new gun. This was bought less than a year ago. You can see where the paint has already started, and this has only been took out to the range like one time. It was put in a box, rode around in the back floorboard of a truck for better part of 6 months. But where they cut corners is in the metalwork as far as finishing. So I mean, it's a pretty heavy gun. I'd have to look and see. As far as it does look like it's made out of steel. The frame, however, is got very little steel in it, if any. It's probably some kind of alloy, probably an aluminum alloy. But basically what you get is a steel cylinder and a steel barrel. Alright. But the whole reason we're working on this is because we took this out to the range, got to looking, and the front sight was cocked over to one side. I'm like, that ain't right for a new gun. So I brought it back into the bench, put it on the vise, and was going to just straighten the sight out with just a brass hammer, make everything straight instead of crooked as a question mark. But when I did, the sight just popped completely off. So basically how they put these sights in is it's got a trough milled into the end of the barrel. And basically, I don't know if you can see that or not, they just peen that metal right here to it to hold it in place. So probably a lot of these have loose sights. They are not soldered in by no means. And if you try to straighten them out, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to do just exactly what I did, knock the sight off. So what we're going to do with this one, being since this is a painted surface, and we're really not going to be able to solder anytime. I feel like if I put heat on this thing, even with flux and solder, it's going to damage the finish a lot more than it already is. And we're not wanting to go overly over the top with this thing, because the process I plan on using, if it works, we'll go with that, or if not, I do have enough meat here, I think, that I could actually tap a screw hole, and I would just put a Ruger ramped front sight on here, which is something we may do eventually. Just depends on how this little project works out. Okay, as you can see, this and all it's done has been in a cardboard box, but already the paint finish on this is just not holding up. So really wouldn't want to glue it because we don't know how it would work. The barrel would probably be fine, but the frame, that's why they paint all this stuff, I guess. And the paint's just not that great. But I can ramble on and on and on and on about $79 gun's a $79 gun. You know, you're not going to get custom blued wonderful. If you're looking for that, you know, buy a Ruger. The whole reason why Ruger come out with the Wrangler series is to compete with these, because nobody's going to pay $400 or $500 for one of these just as a plinker, single action. It is. You have to pull the hammer back every time. But it's basically just a real simple gun. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the vise and level everything up, and we're going to use JB Weld, because there are some epoxies nowadays that far surpass the strength of solder. And like I said, I wouldn't be able to put heat on this thing anyways, because if we did, we're probably going to screw up the finish. So we're going to try this method. We're just going to mix up the JB Weld, put it in the trough, clamp it down, make sure everything's straight, and then that should work. I won't talk a whole lot during the process. I'll probably video it. In fact, we may even use that as a separate video that you can watch, because some of these get very long. But the first thing we're going to do is just prep our metal and get ready to go.